Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel, and what I have here for you today is the SJCAM SJ7 Star. This is SJCAM's first native 4K action cam. I did review a while back the SJ6 Legend, which does 4K also, but it's not natively. It was doing like interpolation or whatever that word is. But this is real, true 4K, just like the Hero 5. First thing you'll notice right away is the outside of this, the build materials. It uses an aluminum body. Now the front is plastic, but the entire sides of this thing is aluminum, or probably an aluminum alloy, which keeps it very lightweight. And on the back you have a 2-inch touchscreen. So I've tested this thing on land, air, and see. So this is not just an unboxing. I put this through some hell. I've dropped it and I've crashed it. And it stood up really well, so I think it's time to take a close look. Now, to be upfront with you, full disclosure, SJCAM did send me this camera and a bunch of accessories that we'll be taking a look at to me for review. It will not influence my review in any way. I give you my honest everyday opinion, just like I always do. I'm going to give you the good and the bad. Now, with that aside, the next thing in the room, the bull in the china shop, is why don't you just get a Hero 5? That's the, you know, the best, the greatest, the most famous, or whatever. Well, this guy costs half the price, so you can pay, and it's a great camera. The Hero 5 about $400, or you can get this one for about $200, which, by the way, I provided a link below. I'm not sure where it is, but when I post it, I'll put it there. But I know it's at least as low as $200. And when you order it, it comes in this box. Let you take a look here. And we have the specifications in different languages. I'll let you take a look at this real quick. So, pretty neat. And I'm going to get that aside. And you get all kinds of accessories. I'll put a picture up of the accessories that are neat, because I've already been through and used all these. And you can see there's all kinds of stuff, including your waterproof case, and you got I think there's like a door that could be also used that you can touch, but you can't use it in deep water. You can use it in shallow water, but it allows you to use the touch screen instead of the back of the hard case, which lets you go 30 meters underwater. So if you want to go underwater, you know, don't do it like this. Put it in its underwater case. Now, when you put it in this case, sound gets kind of weird. I had this out in a thunderstorm. To test some of the rain qualities of it, and you could actually hear the raindrops hitting the case and sort of echoing inside it, so it sounds kind of strange. That's because it's enclosed, so sound doesn't get through. Instead, it sort of transmits through the plastic and gives it a weird sound. So keep that in mind. Only use it underwater or when weather wants you to use that. Or I could have used this. It probably would have been better. Look at all these accessories. Plus, you could use normal GoPro type accessories. It uses the same type of mounting system. You know, you got the handlebar. Whoops, this goes to something else. Sorry. You got your adapters to use regular tripod mounts, as you can see there. An elbow, a couple you know, stickers so you can clip the piece in. Here it is. Let me take this off. This sort of came actually attached to this guy out of the box with the screw. Actually, it went this way. Like I said, I've been using this for real. So now, one thing I did notice that, see how it's pretty loose? You got to really clamp down on this thing to get it tight. My old GoPros, you didn't have to screw it down as tight, so that's the one thing, or the first thing that you notice that's different, is you really got to screw this tighter. What else did we get? We got some SJCAM stickers, you got a lens cleaner, some more extra stickers, so when you use your sticker up on the bottom, you can reuse it by adding some more sticky stuff. Another elbow, 90-degree. Oh, comes with a lens cap. I do like that they give you that little rubbery, whatever you call it, silicone cap right there to protect your lens. And you get the frame. So the frame is important because there is no mount hole like the old SJ6. They gave you a tripod mount on the bottom. This does not have a tripod mount. So you put it in the frame and then you use the adapter to make it into something that could do the tripod. Another thing I noticed about this is a con in my eyes. In the menu system, which we'll go through, you can't flip it 90 degrees. You can't flip it 180 degrees, the picture upside down. What you have to do is take it out of the frame, turn the camera around, and then put it back in. You can see that the shutter release hole, they have them on both the top and the bottom. And this is all good and well. However, when you do have it upside down like this, when you put that screw with the handle, make sure you put it on this side, not on this side, this guy, or it's going to get in the way of you being able to push the button, which I found out. So I just want you to be aware of that. Now, to keep things exciting, I'm going to show you two videos now. One is in my car at 4K, where it's 4K native resolution, 30 frames a second, and then I'm going to show you a second video where it is a 1080p, and it's raining in that one, so you can just sort of see the difference. And also when it's in 1080, you'll see that it is doing the gyro stabilization. That's another con on this. 4K stabilization is not functional yet. It might be functional in a future firmware update. I'm reviewing this at firmware 1.15, so that may be available later on. But 4K, it does not do gyro stabilization, and then in 1080p, it does. So enjoy these two videos real quick. So let's go ahead and take a look at the body real quick. You can see it has a speaker up here, your shutter release right here, your power, and your settings. And you also press and hold, I think it's this guy right here, to enable or disable Wi-Fi. And I'll show you how that works here shortly. You can see you have your little HDMI output, your SD card slot, which can handle up to 128 gigabit SD cards. You have to use class 10 or higher, or UHS 3. High speed is suggested. You have a USB 2. It's a mini, not a micro, so keep that in mind. And again, an HDMI. Battery. Let's see how that battery, you just pull this compartment out like that, and it comes out. I think it has a little pull tab. Yeah, there we go. I don't think I've ever had this battery out, but it's a 1000 milliamp hour battery, I believe. It's not compatible with the old one. Yep. Let that focus there. So what does this do for you? Well, it takes about 3 hours to charge from empty, and it'll give you about an hour runtime if you have your Wi-Fi on, or about an hour and a half if you don't use the Wi-Fi functionality. So the lens is a 160 degree wide angle lens, and it has a f2.5 aperture, and you can see the lens does have a nice coating on there. The sensor inside is a Sony IMX117, and the chipset is a Ambarella. I'm probably saying it wrong, but you can look on the description box. And it's the A12S75. Video resolutions, like I said, this could go up to 4K at 30 frames a second, and it does it in MP4 format and H.264 compression. As far as stills go, you could go up to 16 megapixels, and that's in the JPEG format. Now, another con for this guy is this instruction manual. They have some very basic things in many languages, and there is some essential things that are not in this manual, and I had to go back to SJCAM and ask them some stuff. Because one thing that you'll find out when you go into this menu system, which we'll go ahead and do, and again, all I did was press and hold the power button. It turns on, and I'm going to go ahead and zoom in just a bit. Maybe just a little too much there. It went out of focus. Come on, you can do it. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll just tap the screen, and you can see you have all your different things, video resolutions right here, and you can see it goes from 4K. I'll let you take a quick look at all these different resolutions, and you have your super view, which gives you like a weird stretch on the end kind of thing to give you a more immersive kind of thing, and you have your normal, wide, and different frames per second. And you could freeze this at any time, because I'm not going to read them all. But lots of different choices. However, depending on what you choose, you may or may not have some of the special operating modes. And what I mean by operating modes is field of view, FOV. This may be grayed out or not available in certain resolutions. Or you can see right now slow motion is not available because this could do slow motion. Your auto low light is grayed out. Gyro sensor is grayed out. So which ones is it good for? Which ones do you lose your options? So they sent me a spreadsheet with all those things, and here it is. Now, of course, it's subject to change, because when they upgrade the firmware, some of these things might become available. Now, you saw that you have the field of view, slow motion, and auto low light capability. You also get video lapse, photo burst, and self timer. So you get a lot of different things, and we can go through here. And you have card DV mode, and that enables it to do loops. It cuts it into small pieces, and it will loop, and it'll delete the oldest, so you can just keep it going. It could automatically turn on when it detects power, so you don't have to worry about that if you want to. It does have a auto off feature if you want to after a certain amount of time, so you don't have to get left on by accident. You have auto white balance, and you can change the way you do the metering. You change your ISO. If I were in photo mode, it would have different options. Now you have your settings right in here, and as you can see, it has FPV functionality, which, by the way, I didn't test this particular product, but you can go to SJCAM and get this, so you can do your first-person view kind of cabling right there on a quadcopter. You people who do quadcopters know exactly what I'm talking about, so you can do that. You could change TV modes. What this will do is it'll change the frequency. So if you go to PAL, it's going to change your frame rate and everything, because it's going to be 50 instead of 60, which is NTSC. So just be aware of that. Light frequency, and there's that auto shut off option, so you could, it's supposed to automatically turn off if it's inactive if you want, and I believe that is set out of the box, and I turned it off. You could have it turn off the screen, LEDs, Wi-Fi. I'll show you how the Wi-Fi works with the app very quickly. I don't want this to go too long. You turn the beeping on and off. You have your date time stamps. Change your language, Wi-Fi. You go in there and change the SID, change the password if you want. You could format your SD card. So that's very easy to do. I'll go ahead and do that just so you could see what that's like. That's how you format. It does not include the SD card, but again, it supports up to 128 gigabit. So I think that's really everything in a nutshell as far as that's concerned. You can see firmware 1.15 is what we're up to, and it can be upgraded. Now, you have all these icons on the back. I'll show you what those all mean. So there you go. I'm going to go ahead and swipe down. I think it's swipe down, and you can see you could instantly go into Wi-Fi or picture or remote control feature, and we'll test out this remote control like watch kind of thing they sent me, which is kind of cool. So that's what happens when you swipe down. When you swipe up, it goes right into where you could do photo burst, self-timer capture, record, video lapse, and photo lapse. Now I did do a cool video time lapse out in the Walmart parking lot while it was raining. Really cool. Here it is. I hope you enjoyed that, because it turned out really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this off real quick, and I think what we'll do now is we'll try out some options here. The first thing I want to do is, instead of having to control this camera with all the buttons and all that good stuff, you can use this guy right here. You can see. So you'll be able to turn it on and do all this stuff, and let's see how this gets set up. Alright, so I got the instructions sort of in front of me here. So what it says to do is swipe down. Oops. Okay, swipe down, there we go, and select the remote control guy right there, and it says at the same, now it's asking you if you want to do remote pair, so I'm going to say yes, which is the circle. Come on. Okay, let me press it like I mean it. And it says to press these two buttons at the same time. And that's it. It's paired. And you can see it already just started recording. So, how do I make it stop? Probably hit this again. There we go. So, you have where you could do a video. You could start and stop a video remotely just by, I don't want you to think that I'm doing this, so see that? Started taking a video, stopped taking a video. I could do a snapshot just like that. And this looks like a burst right there, and this turns the Wi-Fi on and off remotely, and then you could turn the power on and off. And I think that's just camera off, because once it's off you're not going to be able to turn it on. See? That you have to go here and hit that button. So that's kind of cool. You wear it like a watch, and allows you to remotely do it if you don't want to load the app on your cell phone, which is the next thing that we'll go ahead and talk about. I have my Android phone, and I went ahead and loaded an app. So let's go ahead and quickly try out the SJCAM Zone application, which I went ahead and got from the Android store. Again, this is also available on iOS. I already had Wi-Fi enabled. If it's not, you can go ahead and press and hold that settings button, and it'll go ahead and light up, or you can pull down on the menu and select it. Now we'll go ahead and start up the SJCAM application, and you can see there's a picture of cell phone talking to camera right there. And what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to attach to the camera via Wi-Fi. This is not Bluetooth. Now, since I've already done this before, I don't know if it's going to confirm, let's say, and confirm the connection to the camera via Wi-Fi. It opens up your Wi-Fi connections. I need to switch to the SJ7 star, bunch of numbers, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And I already put in the password, so hopefully it remembers it, but the default password, which I have not changed here, is 12345678. And you can go into the settings and change that if you don't like it. Now I got an alert on my version of Android here that says that there will be no internet connection on there, which is fine. Because since it's Wi-Fi connecting here, now you're going to use your cellular if you're going to have data being pulled by your phone, just so you're aware of that. Alright, so I'm going to hit camera again. And there we are. Let me back out a little bit so you can see. And of course you can go ahead and start recording by hitting the record button, and you could select the different modes. So right now it's in video taking mode, so I could select picture taking mode just like that, or you could select time, looks like self timer, or to maybe video lapse, I'm not sure which. And I guess that's picture lapse, I believe. Now if you turn it this way, it makes the picture bigger, just so you can tell. You could get into your settings by hitting the lines on the bottom here. Come on, you can do it. I'm trying. There we go. So here you could change the resolution of the camera, which is kind of cool. And since this is in photo mode, that's why it had those particular resolution choices. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to video, and we'll go ahead and select it, and you can see 4K 30 frames a second 6:9, which is the highest, is what I have it set to. I'm not sure what this guy is. Let's take a look. Oh, that lets you go in and see previous pictures and videos you may have taken. And over here is your off. Here is your settings. There's a gear on the top, and you can go through and change all the settings that you had access to on the touchscreen. On the back you have here, see, video quality, resolution, timestamp, and so on. I'll scroll down so you can go ahead and take a look at all of that. You can freeze frame if you like, if you see something or don't see something. It's all there. Alright, and big thing, default settings, so if you mess around with things so bad that it's messed up beyond all belief, you could always go back to default settings. Now, while I have this preview screen up, I'm going to show you the amount of lag. So I'm going to go ahead and move it a little bit, and you can see it is lagging by quite a bit. So you're not really getting a live FOV kind of thing. You can see there is some lag there, so jumping, things like that. Also, since this is a 166 degree lens on here, let me raise up the camera on a piece of cardboard here. I want to show you the amount of distortion that you would expect from a camera like this. So all these lines are straight in reality, but you can see how much they curve around the edges. That's what the camera is seeing right there. So just wanted you to see how much distortion does take place, which is normal of a camera with a 166 degree field of view. I knew I'll get those words out. Now of course if I change the resolution, like let's say I go down to, let's go to 1080p, you may see some things change, maybe not. It all depends on the resolution. Also remember, you could change the field of view where it could narrow it down. Let's see what 720p looks like, see if that changes anything at all. There you go. And like I said, if you go into the settings and change that field of view, let's see if I can find it. Well, I just suck snot on air, sorry. Video resolution, video quality, video stamp, time lapse. Well, that is kind of strange. I do not see anything to change field of view here. Other settings. strange. Maybe if I change, maybe it's a resolution that's not supported. So I could go back here. Let's go, I believe 1080p at like 120 frames a second supports just about every function, I believe. Let me see. Go in here. See, they have video resolution. You know what? While I have this up, you see how they got that SV, which is like super view? Let's see what that looks like. I went ahead and changed it to super view. And you could see that it did stretch out so much you could actually see some stuff down here. So it sort of stretches out those edges even more. What else do we have? Let me go back here to 1080p at 128 frames a second. And see, strange, I do not see field of view. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I know it's available on the camera itself, but it does not seem to be something that I'm finding here in the settings, so I apologize. It could be here, maybe I'm missing something, I don't know. And another thing is that the different resolutions that are available on this double line down here are not all the availables. You have to go in settings to get to all the different ones. So has most of the features, but not all the features that are available on the camera, just so you can see. So there is the app. I did have some issues with this. I had an Android app, or I had a security update on my cell phone downloaded. It updated the Android OS. And after that, the app stopped working. It would freeze on the splash screen that comes up first. So I went ahead and uninstalled and reinstalled it, and then it worked. So if you are experiencing that problem, just uninstall it or reinstall it. The app comes back to life. Not the greatest app I've ever used. It's rated about 3 stars in the Play Store, so that's sort of a little above medium. But they're working every day to update it. To exit, you just hit back twice and it exits. Okay, time to have some fun. So, you see this right there? Yeah, that guy. I put a mount right on the top here and I ran it around my yard and I put it in 4K. And after that, I tried out some other different modes to test out. I also went to different field of views. So, why don't you enjoy the videos. I did test this underwater and I had a lot of fun because I wanted to see what it actually looked like for the water to splash on this from underwater in a sink. I don't do any kind of boating or anything like that, so that's the best thing I could do for underwater. But you put it in the case, you just pop it in there just like that, close it up, clamp it, and you're all sealed up. Now to open it, don't go trying to just pry on this thing. There's a little safety that you pull over just like that, see? And it opens it up. So let's go ahead and take a look at some underwater shots. I hope you enjoyed that. So we did land, so air. So I grabbed my quadcopter and I had to charge up the battery and I popped it on top. And I went flying, and I didn't get to fly too much because on the second flight I took off and immediately crashed it and killed 2 props. But you got to see how tough this guy is, so it made a bad into a good there. Anyway, here's another thing that another optional thing did not come with it. Again, this did not come. This did not come with this. Other things I talked about. These are all separate options. The next thing I want to show you is this microphone. I think there was something else that they sent me. Yeah, they sent me this thing, which to me is kind of crazy, but whatever. It's a first of all, it's very hard to get out of the box, which is one irritating thing right off the bat. There we go. See, this is irritating. Alright, there we go. So this is a UV filter, and you can put this over the lens just like that to help protect it. This is crazy, worthless. I wouldn't recommend it unless you really had the need to protect the lens, and you don't want to put it into this. You could use this guy. kind of weird. This kind of turns, which it would make sense if it was a polarizing lens, but it's UV, so I don't understand why you need something that turns. This is not threaded where it screws on and off, by the way. Just push on and off. So this, I don't know. Whatever. If it's something you need, then get it, and be prepared for a whole bunch of frustration getting it out of there. So, microphone. We're going to go ahead and open this up. Good, I don't have to tear it open. It's a frustration-free opening, so you have like a lapel microphone, and just like the SJ6, you can put on an external microphone and you have a whole bunch more capability. Now, if it's in here, you obviously don't have a hole to attach it. But all you do is you take it and you plug it into the USB port just like that, and then you have an external microphone. So let's hear the difference with and without the microphone. This is a test without the external microphone. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1, test out. This is a test with the external lapel microphone. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, test out. This is a test of the camera in its waterproof case. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, So that last mic test was it inside this case, and of course it's very hard to hear. So I think I gave the most thorough review I am capable of giving you on this camera. Here it is. On the SJCAM SJ7. A lot of capability, and firmware updates add more functionality with each update, if you know what I mean. Do I recommend it? For half the price of a GoPro, even with all the cons that I covered? Absolutely. It is a extremely good camera that has taken a beating. I have beat this up with it not in its protective case, and I've been very impressed with how well it stood up. So if you have any other questions, please go ahead and post them in the comments. I'll try to get them, or anybody else who has this camera can also chime in with their experience, because I have some probably the best viewers and subscribers on the internet and on YouTube, and they are so full of knowledge. I learned so much from you all, from YouTube, and all you people. That sounds bad, but you know, I'm talking about you, and I really appreciate every one of you, and I say that after every video because I really do mean it. So hopefully by the time you order this, they'll have, at least on the SJCAM website, a more complete manual, because you know, I've given you those little cons, but the biggest con of them all is the lack of detail in the manual. They got a nice thick manual with all kinds of languages, but it is very thin. There's no depth to this manual. I mean, it's written well for what's in it. And Tony, I think it is, from SJCAM, sent me what the future manual is supposed to be, and it's really, really good. So if you do order this and you have some problems, just contact SJCAM and they could send you a link with a PDF of their manual if it's not already available on their website. This is pretty cool. Again, make sure you understand what I said was optional and not included, and that SD card is not included. The battery is included. So I recommend it. I definitely recommend this camera at the $200 price point or less. Alright, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great day or evening. Take care.